Picture this, MrBeast just dropped $250 million in 1 year making videos. Meanwhile, there's a 16-year-old kid right now filming on a cracked iPhone in his parents' basement, getting 47 views and making $3 if he's lucky. That's not just a gap, that's a canyon so wide it'll make your head spin. But here's the crazy part. Some of today's biggest creators were that broke kid just a few years ago. Kai Cenat, homeless shelters with his mom. MrBeast, regular teenager making videos on his phone. Logan Paul started in his childhood bedroom. So what the hell happened? How did they jump from ramen noodles to private jets? And why do 99% of creators never make it past that basement? Stick around because I'm about to show you some of the most insane transformations in internet history. Right now, somewhere in Ohio, there's a kid filming his 47th YouTube video. His setup? iPhone 8 with a cracked screen, balanced on textbooks, recording in his bedroom corner because that's the only spot where his little sister won't barge in screaming. The audio? Straight into the phone's mic, competing with his dad TV downstairs and his neighbor's dog that won't shut up. 2 years of grinding, 200 subscribers, half of them probably relatives who felt bad for him. His biggest video? 2,000 views. 900 miles away, MrBeast is standing in Beastville, his $50 million production facility. This isn't just a studio, it's a 50,000 square foot content factory with warehouses full of cars, props, and enough equipment to make Hollywood jealous. 60 employees, professional camera operators, sound engineers, writers, editors, people whose only job is making sure his next video breaks the internet. While that Ohio kid is checking if his phone battery will last through recording, MrBeast is casually dropping $3 million on giving away a private island. One video, $3 million. That's more than most people's houses are worth. Now, let me show you this gap in action. Small creator gets invited to their first big event in LA. Flight costs $340. Airport parking, $15 a day. Uber to the airport, $45. They're already stressed about every dollar before they even leave home. Taking the bus from LAX to their $89 a night hostel. Calculating the cheapest Uber routes. Wondering if this trip will even pay for itself. Cut to Logan Paul. This man doesn't just travel. He makes it look like a movie scene. Private jets on standby. Posted videos of himself casually boarding aircraft wearing his $5.2 million Pokémon card chain around his neck. $5.2 million just hanging around his neck, while deciding between sparkling or still water at 30,000 feet. Logan never thinks about transportation costs, ever. He thinks about which option gets him there the fastest, which will look cooler for content, which jet has better Wi-Fi. Look at Kai Cenat's transformation. 3 years ago, probably splitting Uber rides and hoping his card wouldn't decline. Today, $300,000 Lamborghini Urus, just because he could. That's not just a car, that's freedom. Freedom to go anywhere, anytime, without checking your bank account. MrBeast went from regular teenager problems to having strangers on the other side of the world buying him motorcycles. Fans in Indonesia literally gifted him a custom Yamaha R1 worth $16,000 just because they loved his content. Now let's get brutal about what's actually on these creators' plates. Small creators surviving on 79-cent ramen noodles, again. Coffee made from gas station packets grabbed for free last week. Every dollar gets calculated and recalculated. Groceries or new editing software. Food or that lighting setup. Sometimes they'll do sponsored content for meal kit companies. Not just for the money, but because those free meals literally keep them fed for the week. Logan Paul's luau party cost $75,000. Just the party. He brought in 50,000 pounds of sand to turn his backyard into a fake Hawaiian beach. Flew in fresh seafood from across the country. While small creators are deciding if they can afford guacamole at Chipotle, Logan is hiring teams to create an entire fake beach in his backyard. For one night of content. The psychological impact is brutal. Imagine scrolling Instagram, seeing your favorite creator post Wagyu beef dinners and Michelin star restaurant visits while you're calculating if you can afford your next meat to your spaghetti this week. Top creators will order $200 worth of food for a 10-minute video and barely touch it. MrBeast probably spends more on catering for his crew in 1 day than most small creators make in a month. When you're running a 60-person operation, lunch isn't just lunch. It's a line item in a production budget that dwarfs most people's annual salaries. The housing gap will absolutely destroy your mind. Small creators filming in childhood bedrooms, still decorated with middle school posters, trying to find the best angles that don't show their twin bed. Biggest stress? Finding times when the house is quiet enough to record. Little brother practices trumpet at 4 p.m. Dad watches TV too loud. The walls are thin. Every video filmed in that bedroom is a reminder of where you are versus where you want to be. Logan Paul's $16 million oceanfront mansion in Puerto Rico, that's just not a house. It's a statement that screams, I won the internet. Multiple pools, ocean views, enough space for a full production team. But here's what really messes with your head. Logan's house isn't just for living, it's a business asset. Every room is potential content. His house literally makes him money just by existing. MrBeast bought $2 million worth of land in multiple properties in his North Carolina neighborhood. Some for family, some for employees, some just to create the perfect setup for his content empire. He basically turned his neighborhood into a creator compound. The real inspiration? IShowSpeed bought his mom a house at 16 years old. 16! Most people that age are trying to afford their first car. Kai Cenat went from regular living situations to a $3 million mansion in Georgia, dropped another $400,000 on just furniture. But it doesn't stop there. He bought his friends a $5 million mansion in Atlanta. Think about that. He bought his friends a mansion. That's not just personal success, that's bringing your whole crew with you. Now here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. Average YouTube CPM is $3.47. Get 10,000 views, you make $34.70 before YouTube takes their cut. After their percentage, maybe 25 bucks. Post once a week, average 10K views, you're making about $100 a month. That's not even enough to cover a phone bill. Most creators never even reach 10K views consistently. The majority are stuck into the 100 to 1,000 view range, making literally dollars per month at their month or years of work. 25K subscriber channels getting 5,000 to 15,000 views per video, maybe $150 to $300 a month. That's why they're living on noodles and counting every dollar. Now, let me shatter your understanding of money. MrBeast spends $250 million a year on content. That's not his total income. That's just what he reinvests into making videos. To put that in perspective, if a small creator worked their current grind for 83,333 years straight, they still wouldn't earn what MrBeast spends in 12 months. That gap is insane. Logan Paul's Prime Hydration brand did $250 million in sales in its first year. His Maverick clothing line pulls in $30 to $40 million annually. Wrestling appearances, brand deals, sponsorships, all stack on top of his YouTube revenue. Logan stopped relying on ad revenue years ago. He built a business ecosystem where YouTube is just one piece of a massive financial machine. Industry research shows less than 1% of creators ever reach 7-figure annual revenue. Less than 1%. That means 99% of people grinding, sacrificing, and dreaming of making it big will never see that level of success. The odds are worse than becoming a professional athlete. What keeps people going are the transformation stories. Kai Cenat grew up in the Bronx, spent time in homeless shelters with his mom, watched his family struggle for years. The hardest part wasn't the financial pressure, it was grinding for years while everyone around him thought he was crazy. Friends got regular jobs while he was betting everything on content creation. Family members questioned if he was wasting his life chasing internet fame. When Kai bought mom that house, that wasn't just a purchase, that was changing his family's life forever. IShowSpeed's story hits different because of his age. This kid had to grow up in public while building his brand. Imagine being 16, making millions, buying houses for your family, but also dealing with the pressures of staying relevant and managing money you never had before. When Speed helped that fan with diabetes by sending $17,000, that wasn't just generosity, that was using his platform to literally save someone's life. MrBeast gives away millions in his videos, changing hundreds of people's lives. But when you make it big, your relationship with your friends and family changes forever. People start treating you differently, asking for money, questioning your motives. Old friends might feel left behind or resentful. The loneliness at the top is real, and money doesn't fix that. The content pressure never stops either. When you're small, you create because you love it. When you're big, you create because millions of people expect it. Bills need to be paid, and teams need to be supported. The gap isn't shrinking, it's getting worse. Every month, it becomes harder for new creators to break through because the top creators have more resources, better teams, and bigger budgets. AI and technology are about to make this even more extreme. Top creators can afford the best AI tools, the most advanced editing software, and teams of people optimizing every aspect of their content. But every platform shift creates new opportunities. TikTok created millionaires overnight. YouTube Shorts launched unknown creators to millions of subscribers. The next platform shift can completely change the game again. The creators who win aren't always the ones with the most money. Sometimes, they're the ones who spot the trend first and move fastest. The most successful creators understand something crucial. They invest in others. Kai buying houses for his friends, MrBeast building schools in Nigeria, successful creators using their platforms to lift others up. That's how the gap eventually shrinks. The gap between bedroom creators and mansion moguls is $250 million wide, filled with private jets, luxury cars, and opportunities most people will never see. But every single creator at the top started with the same thing you have right now: an idea and a way to record it. The difference isn't just talent, luck, or even hard work. It's the willingness to keep going when the numbers don't make sense. When your friends think you're crazy, when you're eating ramen for the 47th night in a row. MrBeast didn't start with $250 million. Logan didn't start with a $16 million mansion. Kai Cenat didn't start with a content compound. They started exactly where you are right now, with a camera, an idea, and a dream that seems impossible to everyone else. The gap is real. The odds are brutal. 99% of people will never make it to the top, but that 1% who do, they change everything. The question isn't whether the gap is fair or whether the system is broken. The question is, are you willing to bet on yourself when everyone else thinks you're crazy? Because somewhere out there, right now, the next MrBeast is editing a video on a laptop from 2015. The next Kai Cenat is streaming from their childhood bedroom. The next Logan Paul is filming on a cracked iPhone, dreaming of mansions and private jets. The gap is huge, but every gap has a bridge. The only question is, are you building yours, or are you just watching other people cross? If this opened your eyes to the real creator economy, hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments, where are you in this journey? Because either way, your story matters, and the gap doesn't define your ending. You're next.